maybe a trip to Toronto will help out, because Gretz at the Gardens has been a hit show throughout the 80s and the 90s. As an Oiler, 99 often arrived in town and lit up the Leafs. Edmonton's high-octane offense was sparked by Gretzky and a great scoring touch. His Gardens parties continued as a king. 3 goals in Game 7 of the 93 semifinals, a crowning performance indeed. Toronto's ace at the Gardens is Doug Gilmour. He's been a 90s sensation. Stoked by a fire and intensity possessed by few, Gilmour is burned hot at the Gardens. With a knack for scoring tough goals when the Cards are down, signifying the Gilmour style. Regular season or playoffs, Gilmour is the go-to guy for the big hand. It's Gretzky and Gilmour. The king goes down on the table. The Leafs will try to trump that king with their ace. It's LA and Toronto next on TSN.
The Kings' royal road trip took a kicking in Game 1 in Dallas. But in Chicago, royalty rebounded and beat the Hawks 4-3. A win in Winnipeg gave LA 2 in a row for the first time in 51 games. So another victory tonight, and that might bring a sigh of relief to the beleaguered coach Barry Melrose.
The Leafs wrapping up their longest homestand of the season and looking to go undefeated in 4. The Leafs with a couple of wins, a loss, and a tie against Chicago on Saturday. It's Coach Burns in the road show for the next 4 after tonight. Now, the Leafs aren't exactly number 1 yet, but hey, things are pointing up as the fans wave so long for a while after tonight.
Hockey Central is downtown Toronto tonight as the Maple Leafs host the LA Kings. In other action, Jacques Demers and the Canadiens go for 2 in a row in Pittsburgh. Jim Schoenfeld and the new improved Capitals in Tampa to face the Lightning. In Dallas, Bob Gainey's Stars meet Chicago in a Central Division battle. And in the first intermission, Wayne Gretzky. All the action on the NHL tonight.
Molson, NHL Tonight on TSN. Brought to you by Molson Canadian. By Pepsi. Pepsi reminds you to be young. Have fun. Drink Pepsi.
Hey, Gilmour's been playing pretty well for the Leafs. 8 points in the last 7 games. He loves playing at the Gardens. And so does Wayne Gretzky. Maybe he'll snap out of a slump that has seen him go 6 games without scoring a goal. Coming up, it's Gretzky and the Kings against Gilmour and the Leafs from Maple Leaf Gardens in Toronto. Hello again, everybody, and welcome to the NHL Tonight. I'm Paul Romanuk along with Gary Green. Always exciting when Wayne Gretzky comes to town, and the ticket in Toronto tonight is the hottest one in town to watch the Kings and the Leafs. Now, Gary, Gretzky has been struggling. His problems well documented at this stage, but it's a little bit unfair to say that as goes Gretzky, so go the Kings.
Well, look, he's still not far off of a point a game. Hardly retirement talk here. This is a different team than a couple of years ago. It's not a run-and-gun hockey club right now. They don't have that type of skill. Barry Melrose has got them playing defensive hockey. That's the only way they're going to win. On the other hand, Paul, take a look at this hockey club. They've been decimated back in the blue line with injuries. They've lost about 50 man games. They've also had goaltenders that have been out injured. And I don't care what team you are in the National Hockey League. If you lose key defensemen, you're up the creek without a paddle.
All right, so there you go. Now, just to remind you of how much these teams have changed since '93, May of '93, when they met in the conference championship. Tell you what, only 10 Leafs and 13 Kings remain on the rosters from that game. With more, let's head back to TSN Hockey Control. Here are John Wells and Bob McKenzie.
All right, Paul, it could be a tough week for the Canadiens starting in Pittsburgh tonight. The Habs ended that 6-game winless streak with a win over New York on the weekend, but they still aren't scoring. No more than 3 goals for the Canadiens in their last 7 games.
Oh, no, but they are playing an awful lot better. The tie against the Buffalo Sabres on home ice, they dominated that game in the second half. The last 50 minutes, they were all over the Buffalo Sabres. Played a very good game against the New York Rangers as well. Interesting line change. Craig Darby up from the minors as the center. Kirk Muller's playing the left side, and Mark Recchi's playing the right side. So they had some good chemistry there on Saturday night. They'll try to keep it going tonight.
Yeah, and the Penguins have shuffled their deck a little bit, and it worked rather effectively in a 6-2 win over Buffalo the other night.
Yeah, nobody scored very many goals against Dominik Hasek this year except for that Pittsburgh Penguin lineup that broke up the big line. Ronnie Francis ended up on a line with Sean McEachran and Mike Hudson. Jaromir Jagr ended up on a line with Martin Straka and Jim McKenzie. And the third member of that line, Luc Robitaille, was playing with Len Barry and Marcus Naslund. So they shuffled the deck. Those are the lines that Pittsburgh will go into the game with tonight. But don't be surprised if things start going a little bit awry that they put the big line back together again.
All right, the Canadians are home to the Penguins on Wednesday. They're in Boston on Thursday, and then Quebec is in town on Saturday, so it could be a long week for Montreal. More in a moment from TSN Hockey Control.
In Toronto, it's the third meeting of the season between the LA Kings and the Toronto Maple Leafs. LA with a win and a tie against Toronto so far this year. Starting goaltenders brought to you by Thrifty Car Rental, historically known for low rates. It's Kelly Rudy. He's given up 3 or fewer goals against in 10 of his 13 starts this year. And he has started both games against the Leafs. The Cat in goal tonight for Toronto needs one more win to tie Alan Bester with 69 as number 8 in all-time Toronto club history. 9 wins so far this year. The referee is Don Kaharski. He wears number 12. Leon Stickle is number 27. Tim Nowak is number 43. And we are playing hockey. The Kings in black, the Leafs in white, and away we go. This is Todd Gill. Gretzky out there for the LA Kings. Granato up there watching Gill. Puck comes around the boards. McSorley at the line. Trying to work it up to Gretzky. Conacher is Gretzky's other winger. Here's Gill. And Marty McSorley will hustle back to pick it up. He is out there with number 77, Rob Cowie. Not to be confused with number 77, Paul Coffey. Strange that he would pick that number.
He'd like to be confused with that.
Yeah, he sure would. Especially on payday. Mironov trying to work his way up. He'll fire it up. Here's Eastwood. Works it up ahead. Wood heading down in. Gardner up there with him. Here's Gardner on the wraparound. Trying to tuck it in, and Rudy got the pad down.
Well, Pat Burns isn't quite sure what team is going to show up tonight, and that's a cliche we oftentimes hear from coaches, but here's how he feels about his team right now. He thinks his team in the first 10 minutes play a great hockey game, and then in the last 10 minutes he thinks they play a great hockey game. But somewhere's in the middle here, he's not too happy with his team because they tend to lose their concentration. A week ago against, well, the Dallas Stars, for example, he had to call a timeout in the second period to get the guys together and say, hey, what's going on here? Wake up. Let's get playing the way we did in the first 10 minutes.
Isn't that the battle every coach faces, trying to keep the team consistent for the entire game?
Trying to get them to play 60 minutes. Same way they start the first shift.
Robert Lang up to the line. He's got Tocchet off on the right side. Tried to get it over to him. The puck will bounce around into the corner. Tocchet up there after it, but here's Ridley starting back out. Mike Craig took it in the skate. Lang will chip it back in. Quinn had to come out and clear the zone. Quinn, Tocchet, and Lang up front for the LA Kings. McCowan taps it up to Andrechuk. He's out there with Ridley and Craig. Puck rifled down into LA territory. Craig after it. Goes right by him. Here's McCowan. Andrechuk up to Ridley. To the line with Craig. Ridley moving up. Cuts in. Almost chipped that up. Here's Craig now looking around. Andrechuk high in the slot. Back to Ridley. Andrechuk coming in there to help him out. Craig was tied up but comes away, and Rudy will hang on to it.
Well, Barry Melrose has kind of got his work cut out for him because he realizes with the skill level on this hockey club that they have got to play a defensive brand of hockey if they're going to have more wins. On the road lately, they've been playing good defensive hockey and have picked up a couple of wins. But I'm not sure that this hockey club, when you look at the defense especially, Paul, are really geared for playing defensive hockey.
And they are really taking it on the injury front. Jari Kurri, a surprise scratch with the hip flexor. He did practice today. Rob Blake out with a groin injury. Denny Segurov, just a terrible cut in his face, about 40 stitches.
And Rob Blake, with that nagging groin injury, is a real serious one because he could be out for weeks yet. And it's the same groin as he had trouble with earlier.
And you wonder if that's symptomatic of the lockout. Puck comes in front, a gaping net. And Yannick Perreault failed to bury it.
Todd Gill played great goal.
Did a great job. Gilmore feathers it up. Sundin up after it. Borshevsky moving up there. Sundin, Gilmore, and Borshevsky. Borshevsky trying to get it in front. Puck knocked away. Snell in back of the net, the former Toronto Maple Leaf. A couple of former Leafs up there. Snell and Perreault. Yannick Perreault goes after it. Up ahead to John Drews. Drews stops at the line. And here comes Gill back the other way. Both teams making some changes in the fly. Gill fires it in, and he will peel off towards the bench and complete the Toronto changes. Marty McSorley starting back. Manderville watching him. Here's Granato. Gretzky breaking up the middle. Granato couldn't get it across to him. Manderville and Reichel go up there. Here's Reichel into the corner, trying to get it loose for the Leafs. Now Manderville picks it up. Back to Reichel. Yake and Manderville going to the front of the net. And Reichel gives it away to Gretzky. Here comes Gretzky up to the line. Gets it up ahead. Lacroix back for Gretzky. Just failed to click there. And Petit has to wait for Lacroix to get onside. Kenny Johnson. Granato goes after it. Petit going for the front of the net. Gretzky is down back of the net. Here's Gretzky picking it up. Centers into Granato. Shooting. Potvin stop that. And Daryl Sador was bumped there by Terry Yake.
Tony Granato had a great opportunity and has had a tough time scoring this year.
And Sador will retrieve the helmet. 16-12 to go in the first period.
There's a new neon starting to show up out there. And lurking under its lovable hood is a 150 horsepower surprise. Look for details in the fast lane. Say hello to the other neon. The Sport Coupe. Now at your Dodge and Plymouth dealers.
Canadiens Penguins in Pittsburgh. Here's a good start for Montreal. 2:17 of the period. This is Mike Keane going to the backhand from out of the corner. His backhand beats Ken Regan. It is 1-0 Montreal. Early first.
Well, the Kings could be up 2-0 right now. Tony Granato had a great opportunity, but the best opportunity to score in the whole game went to Perreault. Now watch Potvin. He thought the puck was coming around, and instead it went right back to Perreault. So Berhowski's in there, but it was Todd Gill that made just a great save. Watch this chance. Gretzky sets Granato up. He changes hands right here, gets off a weak shot, but nevertheless it was a decent shot. Tony Granato has had one tough time finishing off, but he gives you everything he's got every shift.
You're watching there trying to switch up hands when the pass came out in front.
Ambidextrous.
Chris Chelios is a guy who can do that. Pops to mind. Seen him switch it up from the blue line and score. Here's Burridge. Up to the line with Crowder, and offside is called on LA. Talked about the Kings' injuries, the problems they're having. Here's what's going on with the Leafs. Garth Butcher, by the way, belated congratulations to Garth. He's a dad again, but he's out with back spasms. Nothing in common. Dave Ellitt's out with a foot injury. Ken Baumgartner with a shoulder injury.
Bill Burke should be back sometime on this Western road trip, Pat Burns said before the game. And, of course, the Leafs have a new addition as of today.
Yes, Rich Sutter coming over from Tampa for future considerations. Wonder why Tampa picked up Sutter. He only played a couple of games for them, then they sent him down to the minors. I imagine you'll see more playing time in Toronto. Penalty coming up. It's going to be an elbowing call, and it's going to go against the LA Kings. Number 55, Troy Crowder, heading over to the box.
Pat Burns has to be pretty pleased with his power play this season. It's something that has clicked. Big 6'4", 220-pound Troy Crowder tries to take his man Mike Gartner down. He goes down along with Gartner, but Crowder goes to the penalty box.
Did not play hockey the last 2 years, was signed as a free agent prior to the season.
Had back problems that really put him out for a couple of years. He played only 76 games in the National Hockey League, though he has quite a reputation, and it's because he spent so much time in the penalty box with New Jersey and Detroit. There you see the power play rankings that we just mentioned. 6th best overall in the National Hockey League.
Against penalty killing that hasn't always been sharp this year. And that's being kind, ranked 23rd.
Well, it's the whole defensive part of the game for Barry Melrose team right now, because 23rd overall penalty killing, as you just mentioned, 26th, the worst defensively in the National Hockey League. They've allowed 4 goals a game and have been only scoring 3.
Conacher gets it back, and Dan Quinn fires it down the ice. Here's Gill. Gill up ahead. Mironov fires it in. Andrechuk, Gilmore, and Sundin up front for Toronto on the power play. Mironov and Gill back at the blue line. Here's Sundin. Andrechuk goes towards the front of the net. This is Gill. And Mironov will hustle back to pick it up. The time showing in the penalty for some reason is not up on the clock. Here comes Gill. And that is what the referee, Don Kaharski, was over-explaining to Barry Melrose, the Kings coach. Approximately 1:10 to go on the man advantage for Toronto. Here's Gilmore. Sundin on the way in the right-hand side. Andrechuk way up ahead of the play, as he usually is. Here's Sundin coming in. Gilmore going towards the front of the net. Andrechuk after it along the boards. Andrechuk with Gilmore over there in support. Can't come away with it. Gretzky starting back. Gretzky short-handed up to the line. Daryl Sador takes the drop pass, gets it in front. Gretzky shoots, hit the side of the net. Puck comes around. Sador centers it in front, scores. Lacroix. Eric Lacroix with a short-handed goal, and the Kings grab the lead.
Eric's mom and dad are here tonight watching the game. Watch Sador. He made the rush initially, and that was a gamble, but when you've got a gamble and you're taking it with Gretzky, it's not such a gamble. Gretzky had an opportunity, but look at Lacroix left all alone in front of Felix Potvin, and the Leafs have got to be shaking their head wondering what is going on.
Los Angeles goal scored by number 28, Eric Lacroix.
Leafs are on the power play.
Number 25, Daryl Sador.
Gill came out just a little too late, and Lacroix picks up a goal. Mentioned Lacroix's parents here tonight. Lacroix's dad, of course, Pierre Lacroix, the general manager of the Quebec Nordiques, can fulfill 2 jobs here tonight. Scout for the Nordiques and see his son.
And here comes Conacher back in, and play is called. A penalty coming up against Toronto. Hooking will be the call. So the Kings get 1 shorthanded, and in 14 seconds they will go on the power play. Still 14 seconds to go in Troy Crowder's penalty as Gartner has a seat.
Ironic that it was Gartner that had been hauled down by Crowder, who went to the penalty box, and this time it's Gartner that is the guilty man.
So the teams will play it even, as I mentioned, for 14 seconds, and then LA will get a shot on the power play. But a nice bonus to scoop a shorthanded goal. Lacroix gets it. Gretzky and Sador pick up the assists.
Lacroix came up from Phoenix January the 15th. He'd broken his knuckle there and missed 16 games.
Here's Gretzky. Drops it back. Snell will fire it in. Knocked down by Janssen. Talk it up there after it. Here's Chris Snell. Just threw it up the middle. Eastwood almost took off with it. Here's Wayne Gretzky. Kings on the power play for the next minute and 40. Marty McSorley brings it up around the boards. Gretzky waiting for it. Taps it right down into the corner. Nobody in front. McSorley was moving in from the point, but there is nobody right in front of the goal yet. Here's Gretzky with it. Gets it back to Snell. Shoots. Potvin stopped that one, and he saw it all the way. And the Leafs with a quick change. McSorley moves it up. Hit Tocchet in the back of the skate, and offside is called in L.A.
You know, Wayne Gretzky put his mind to it. He could probably be the best defensive center iceman in the National Hockey League. He's got the anticipation, the skills, all the ingredients that you need to be a great defensive player in this league. However, that hasn't been Wayne Gretzky's job, but it has been right now, because you can't have a team all of a sudden go to a defensive style, even though he's averaged these type of points as a Los Angeles King. You can't have a team that's going to play a defensive style unless your captain and your leader is playing that type of game too. And people have wondered why Gretzky oftentimes has been dumping that puck in when he steps over the red line, but it's because he has to show that he's the leader of Barry Melrose's program.
And Gretzky heads to the bench right off the draw, looking for a new stick. Quinn back there after it. Dan Quinn, long pass up ahead. Here's Gretzky. Tried to throw it across. It's broken up by Vanderbilt. Gretzky gets his new stick from the bench and gets right back into the play. Tocchet moving up the middle. Gretzky up in the right-hand side will take it. He's got Tocchet over on the left. He dumps it into his corner. Quinn coming up there as well. Knock Vanderbilt down. Here's Ridley. Drops it off for Mironov. Mironov trying to work his way in. Leafs are shorthanded. Still 26 seconds to go in the LA power play. Here's Gilmore. Mironov in front of the net. Here's Gill. Up ahead to Gilmore. Steps up. Trying to step in. Whirls around. Here's Granato. 9 seconds left in the LA power play. Tony Granato up there with Tocchet. Robert Lang moving up as well, number 13. Petit moves up on it. Penalized player is back on. Petit couldn't knock it down. Here's Gartner up ahead to Sundin. They'll leap up to the attack. Gilmore's up there too. Here's Gilmore after it. Slides it up into the corner. Gartner trying to get to it. Here's Matt Sundin chasing it down. Sador given a rough ride there by Gartner. He drops him. And Gartner flying up there since stepping out of the penalty box. Gilmore just missed it. And this is Crowder back the other way. He's got Lang to his right. Dropped it off to him. Lang quick passes it across. Tried to take the return feed, but Gartner will start back. McCowan chops at it. Here's Crowder. Lang is down low in the corner. 11:10 to play in the first period. 1-0, the LA Kings leading. LA with a shorthanded goal from Eric Lacroix. Crowder's on the way. Here comes Crowder up there. Burridge is going towards the front of the net. McSorley trying to punch it through. Ridley with a nice play to break that up. Now Perreault going after it. Here's Drake Barahowski for Toronto. He gets it up ahead to Andrechuk. Ridley was moving up the middle. Here comes Todd Gill. Up ahead to Ridley. Mike Craig moving up into the play as well. Ridley riding Petit into the corner. Tried to center it in front. He had Andrechuk there. Couldn't get it to him. And the Kings start back. Yannick Perreault to Tocchet. Back over to Perreault. Moves across. Shooting. He rifled one just wide. Big rebound in front. Ridley will pick it up. And the Leafs start back. Ridley coming out. Pass intended for Tocchet. Hopped away from him. And we have almost hit the halfway point of this first period. The shots on goal, 3-2 for the Kings. The score, 1-0 for the Kings.
McCain has got the edge. The edge on taste. McCain Elios Deep Dish Pizza has got the edge on taste. When you need a bite, try the amazing taste of McCain Elios Deep Dish Pizza. It's got a unique deep dish crust topped to perfection and a special raised edge that keeps the toppings in place. So there's no escaping the great taste. McCain Elios Deep Dish Pizza. We've got the edge on taste.
Quick update from Tampa Bay. Caps and the Lightning. Point shot here, and it goes off Kristic to Pavanka, who redirects it in behind Darren Pupa for a 1-0 Washington lead.
Here's an example, Paul. When I don't think the Los Angeles Kings defense are meant to play defensive hockey. Watch on the right side of your screen here. Now, Marty McSorley's coming back. Now, they've got to stay back. He's got a defenseman already, but you see, it's very difficult. Cowie is over on the left side. McSorley is on the right, but McSorley's a defenseman that wants to pressure the puck. He's more offensive-minded than he is defensive-minded. And when you look at their defense right now, whether it's Sador, Snell, Petit, and when Blake's in the lineup, this is a defense that likes to pressure the puck and go on the offense. And so Melrose has got his work cut out for him, trying to get these guys to stay back and think defense first.
Well, they recognize that too. I was talking to Daryl Sador before the game, and he says that's one of his real problems. He has to pick his spots, and he sometimes isn't disciplined enough when he does that.
And they said that they haven't had a chance to practice it either. His first 22 games has been their practice.
Gilmore trying to walk through. He's jarred just as he went for the puck. Reichel fires it across. Here's Gill. And offside is called on Toronto. 9:43 to go in the period.
Todd Gill made one of the best saves the goaltender has made in the first 10 minutes of this hockey game. Todd Gill has been playing better hockey, and the Leafs had difficulties earlier in the season because their defense especially was not playing well for Pat Burns. Todd Gill was one of those. Garth Butcher was one of those. Butcher isn't in the lineup tonight. Butcher's played better. Gill has played much better. And the Leafs have only allowed 6 goals over their last 3 games. They've been cutting their goals against down.
And right off the face-off, a little posturing going on. That's Tony Granato of the Kings having a few words with Randy Wood of the Leafs.
Well, Granato's definitely going off, but I thought that Wood was going with him. Wood doesn't want to go.
He's happy to stay out. Granato will have a seat.
Not just Granato.
The Kings do have their only goal in this game, the only goal of the game, shorthanded. By the way, that was only their second shorthanded goal of the year.
Not a gambling team anymore.
No.
They gambled on that power play opportunity by the Leafs, but they also read the play pretty well. The Leafs were pretty sloppy and very nonchalant back in their own zone, so led by Gretzky, they took advantage of it.
Pat Conacher has the other shorthanded goal. Lacroix, Gretzky, McSorley, and Snell, the penalty killers out there for LA. Gartner, Wood, and Ridley up front for Toronto. Janssen and McCowan back at the blue line.
Gretzky been off the ice yet this game?
Not much. Maybe to get the new stick. Actually, he even did that when he was on the ice. Here's Ridley. Ridley bounced off the puck. McSorley trying to get it out. The puck rolls into Kelly Rudy, and he will hang on to it. 1:27 to go in the Toronto power play. 9:05 to go in period number 1.
We take a look at the power play leaders for the Toronto Maple Leafs. And you see Dmitry Mironov there with his 2 power play goals. Remember, Mironov was the one that led the National Hockey League last year in the playoffs with 6 power play goals. He's been a reason why the Leafs have been pretty good on the power play. And, of course, with Gilmore and Sundin up front, lots of skill offensively. Gilmore's been playing better. Andrew Chuck has been playing better. And Pat Burns says that he knew that all along. Sundin, of course, has played well from his first game here. But Gilmore and Andrew Chuck, there was only one solution for Pat Burns, and that was just keep putting them out there, playing them lots. He knew they'd work their way out of it.
By the way, Wayne Gretzky has been in the ice for 5 minutes and 31 seconds. That's our unofficial timing so far. McCowan fires it in just wide. Gilmore's been on for 5 minutes and 51 seconds. So he's actually had about 1 more shift than Wayne Gretzky. Here comes McCowan. Sundin snaps it, knocked down at the line by Petit, and he'll clear it.
The best way a coach can keep a great hockey player happy is just giving him lots of ice time. Nothing more that'll bring a smile to his face.
Puck cleared up off the boards, and that's an icing call on the Leafs on the power play. Let's see what's going on in Pittsburgh. The Canadians are playing the Penguins. John?
This is the first Penguins goal of the night. Sean McEachran gets the shot. And it's a backhand there, stopped by Rob, and right there with a rebound, short side, Mike Hudson. It is 1-1 at the Igloo.
Closed captioning this period courtesy Regal Capital Planners, over 25 years helping Canadians reach financial independence.
Gretzky out there once again against Doug Gilmour for this faceoff. Gilmour won that cleanly.
And here comes Gilmour. He's got Sundin way up on the left-hand side. Andrechuk peeling over, coming in on the right-hand side. Gilmour bounces his way in, trying to get it across in front. Andrechuk was wide open. Mironov hustles back to pick it up. Lacroix watching him. Lacroix has the Kings' shorthanded goal in this game. Andrechuk steps in. Sundin goes towards the front of the net. Andrechuk rifles one on goal. Hrudey stops that. No leap there to get the rebound. Puck cleared up to Gretzky. 18 seconds left in the Toronto power play. Gretzky wires one in. Potvin waved that away. Gill gets it around to Mironov. 9 seconds left in the Toronto man advantage. Here comes Sundin. Long shot. Sador back there to pick it up. Penalized player is out of the box. That's Tony Granato, and he's back into the play. Tocchet tried to get it up to Granato. Knocked away by Yake. To Gilmour. Andrechuk angling towards the front of the net. Yake steps in. Puck loose in front. It's picked up. And Conacher will move it back out. Robert Lang hustling up there after it. Tocchet comes up as well. Neither can pick it up. Michel Petit. Here's Quinn. .7:05 to go in the period. 1-0 LA leading. Teams at even strength. This is Barahowski up to Reichel. He's got Manderville on the way. Here's Manderville going after it. Yake coming up there to join him. Reichel moving towards the net as well. Reichel mixing it up in the way in with Daryl Sador. And everyone mixing it up in the corner. Now Reichel moving over after it. Chips it back to Barahowski. Shoots. McCowan moves up. He'll fire one on goal. Reichel trying to get to the rebound. He was tied up. Lead pass ahead for Tocchet. Couldn't knock it down. He'll hustle up after it. Barahowski gets up there first. And icing is called in LA. 6:27 to go. The Kings are up 1-0. Eric Lacroix with a shorthanded goal. In the first period, Kings are up 1-0. The teams are at even strength. Little rugby style scrum there off the draw. Mike Craig, the hooker, coming away with it. Here's Craig. Tries to get it in on goal. Drews will pick it up. Drews tried to move it up ahead. Drews is out there in the line with Randy Burridge, the old Peterborough Pete's connection intact. Drews moves it up ahead. Yannick Perreault couldn't knock it down. And John Drews is hurting. He is bent over. You can see him on the left of your picture. He's heading towards the bench now. Matt Martin up there gives Yannick Perreault a bump. And now Burridge flies up there. Here's Burridge trying to wrap around. Couldn't get the shot away. He was pulled down by Ridley. And Ridley will go off for hooking. And I'm sure for Randy Burridge that was taking place almost in slow motion. He was coming around and trying to line the puck up on his stick and get the shot and just ran out of time.
Well, Randy Burridge doesn't move as fast as he used to move, but yet he sat for quite a while in Winnipeg and came off the bench and played a great second and third period. Watch Burridge. He lost possession of the puck at the same time as Ridley was pulling him down, but he was trying to do a wraparound from behind the net and then just lost that puck. Ridley hit Drews, and watch Drews then. That's when Drews seemed to have hurt either his shoulder or his arm, but he took a long time getting to that bench.
It looked like it was his shoulder that was hurt, and looking at the hit, that would seem to be a decent guess, although there's Walter Gretzky there and right-hand side of your screen, sitting right down by the bench.
Now, Walter's not coaching tonight, though. He did do a little of that on the Gretzky European tour, but he's definitely not coaching tonight.
Kings 0 for 1 on the power play. Here's McSorley. Here's Gretzky. Gets it up ahead. Petit steps in over the blue line. Here's McSorley. Couldn't knock the pass down. Gretzky is drifting over to the far corner. Granato looking for Gretzky up along the boards. Here's Gretzky now. Tried to get it across, and Manderville poked it away from him. 1:14 to go on the power play for LA. Puck cleared up ahead. Tocchet moving in. Here comes Gretzky up after it. McSorley battling there at the line. The puck knocked out. McSorley pulled Wood down. No penalty called. Gardner battles his way up. Back to Wood. Here's Wood after it in the corner. McSorley comes in. McSorley is short a glove. He lost it up the ice when he tangled with Wood at the blue line. This is Tocchet. 48 seconds to go on the power play. And here comes McSorley. Without a glove, but with the puck. Gretzky couldn't knock that pass down. And the Kings will start out again with 35 seconds left in the man advantage. This is Daryl Sador. Robert Lang to the line. Has Crowder there with him. Crowder takes the pass. Quinn comes up to help out. Here's Quinn. Crowder goes to the front of the net. The pass is coming back intended for Sador, but Gilmore redirected it.
Easy anticipation by Gilmore. He just saw that diagonal pass and just stuck his stick out and deflected it out of the zone.
10 seconds to go on the power play. Here's Burridge up ahead to Lang. Lang cutting into Burridge. Got a shot. Potvin stopped that. Puck comes back. Sador winds up with a shot. Off the boards. Cowie at the line. Knocked away from him, and here come the Leafs. Sundin over to Ridley. Shooting. Rebound comes out. Here's Sundin still with it. Gilmore trying to get loose in front. Ridley there at the side. Here's Ridley. Barahowski. And Burridge will move it back out for the Kings. Offside called on the Leafs. Went off of skate right back in. That's how the Leafs got caught offside. Tonight's game was brought to you in part by Chrysler Canada.
Well, the Leaf fans came to their feet because they saw Matt Sundin with a 2-on-1 opportunity. Now watch from the blue line. Sador's in the middle. Now watch what Sador did. Stayed in the middle, and all of a sudden when that puck went over to Ridley, he just moved his body in front of it, got a piece of it, was able to deflect it. Ridley was ready, though, to take that pass and one-time it right from Sundin.
3:12 to go in the period. Boy, that was a bad power play from the Kings. They couldn't get anything going. Barahowski. Andrechuk picks it up. Here's McCowan. McSorley with Craig coming at him. Gives him a bump along the boards. And Craig up after the puck. He's got Andrechuk in front. Craig across to Andrechuk. Tapped it towards the goal. Ridley almost batted it in. And icing is called in LA. That was a interesting play there as it came across in front to Andrechuk.
Here's an interesting one for you, Paul. Perreault was just called up on Friday, and so in Winnipeg at pregame practice, the trainers had his sweater out, ready to have his name put on the back of it. Well, the players came out for pregame practice, all took magic markers, thought it was a souvenir sweater, including Perreault. Everyone signed it. So they had a heck of a job getting all of the ink off of the sweater before the game. Wouldn't he have just looked a little foolish out there with a game sweater with all of the names of his teammates on it?
That's a pretty good story. One that I'm sure Perreault will repeat over the years. Mironov fires it up. Here's Gardner after it. Eastwood is in front. Conacher to McSorley. And icing called in the Kings. 2:06 to play in the period. LA up 1-0. Eric Lacroix with the goal at 5:41, shorthanded.
Well, Barry Melrose has got good leadership from Gretzky. You know, I heard somebody talk about Gretzky today and say, yeah, but you know, maybe he is a point-a-game man, but at $7 or $8 million, and the Kings can't afford to pay him that. Hey, if Michael Jordan is making a comeback and expecting the league to pay him a lot of money to make a comeback, how much do you think the National Hockey League might owe Wayne Gretzky for how he is revived hockey in Los Angeles, started hockey in Los Angeles, and really has done a great deal for the league?
I'm telling you, struggling or not, years from now, people watching Wayne Gretzky playing his prime will brag about that, just like people who saw the Rocket in his prime, Gordie Howe in his prime. I mean, he is one of the greatest of all time, regardless of what he's doing at this stage of his career.
And the people that are questioning his retirement are only questioning it on the basis that they know that Wayne Gretzky has such tremendous pride. Unless he's right up at the top, maybe he won't want to play anymore. But I think Gretzky's got such a great love of the game. And just talking to him this morning, he's joking about not getting as many points, and maybe he'll be managing restaurants and kind of laughing at himself. And Wayne Gretzky sees that he's got some young guys here and that he can contribute to the team, and he's doing something that he loves, making a lot of money doing it. I don't think that he wants to give that up too soon.
Hey, you know what else people will do years from now? They'll be astounded when they look and see that a couple of times when Gretzky won the league scoring title, he wasn't even nominated for the MVP award.
I remember Gordie Howe had made this point to Gretzky about a year or so ago when he had the back difficulties. He just said, it's a very big decision. Don't give it up. Not something you love too early.
Here comes Doug Gilmour on the way for the Leafs. Sundin and Borshevsky with him. Puck knocked away. Mironov chops at it. 1:20 to go in the period. Here's Petit. Gretzky up the middle, takes the pass. Drops it off there, knocked down by Gilmour. Sundin going towards the net. Borshevsky coming up now. Borshevsky tried to zip it across. Granato intercepts that, and he starts back. Granato and Gretzky come up to the line. Here's Gretzky. Drops it off. Puck fired towards the net by Conacher. That was knocked away. Here comes Gilmour. Up there with Janssen and Sundin. Sundin drills one. That's knocked down on the way through.
I don't know, can anybody find it? Oh, there it is.
And there it is, popping loose. Janssen trying to dig it out. McSorley chops at it. Here's Jamie McCowan. 38 seconds to go in the period. McCowan with Borshevsky in front. That was intercepted. Here's Gilmour. Here's Gilmour still. Shooting it. It's knocked away, and Janssen couldn't keep it in. This is McSorley on the way up. Tocchet off to his right. He'll leave it for him. Tocchet hit front, scores. Quinn.
What a play by Tocchet.
Dan Quinn gets the goal. Tocchet with a nifty assist, and it's 2-0 for LA.
Well, Quinn has scored 5 goals in his last 8 games, make that 6 goals in his last 9 games. Tocchet made the perfect play. He didn't try to shoot on the net. He tried to get a good, hard, low shot pass right across the ice because he saw Quinn going for the net, and he saw where Felix Potvin was coming way out to cut down the angle. Great move by Rick Tocchet. Quinn just had to deflect it into the empty side of the net.
Quinn gets the goal at 1942. Tocchet and McSorley pick up the assists. The Kings only had 6 shots on goal. They've cashed in twice, once shorthanded. That's not a bad percentage, about 33%.
Well, Pat Burns will be just steamed because coaches hate to get scored on in the last minute of any period.
No alcoholic beverages are allowed to be consumed in the designated dry areas. If you choose to drink, please respect the rights of those who don't. Sale of alcohol ends at the start of the 3rd period. Thank you for your cooperation.
Tonight's game brought to you in part by Chrysler Canada.
Brought to you by your local McDonald's restaurants. Have you had your break today?
And Kings captain Wayne Gretzky joins us now from the Gardens. Wayne, all kinds of talk about you this season. The R word has been mentioned more than once. Is there any chance that this might be your last season in the NHL?
Well, I hope not. I think that I still have too much fun ahead of me. I really enjoy playing the game, and I really enjoy playing for Barrie. And you know, I'm at a stage in my career where I have accomplished an awful lot. And when things aren't going well, obviously, you know, I'm looked at, and a lot of questions are asked of me. But you know, throughout my career, I've been pretty honest about my play, and I had a tough stretch there. But that happens to everybody in professional hockey, where you go through tough stretches, and when Wayne Gretzky goes through, it's pretty magnified. But I feel a lot better the last few games, and as you can see, we've been winning and playing a lot better. So as long as we're winning, I'll keep playing.
You're still smiling. Has there ever been a tougher time in hockey for you personally than the stretch that you have gone through the first half of this season?
No, there hasn't. it's been a really hard time for me as far as the pressures that and the expectations that have gone along with it. You know, throughout my career, I've answered the bell pretty quickly, and I've quieted people rather fast. And this particular time I wasn't able to do so. On top of that, we were losing a lot of hockey games and losing a lot of home games. And but that's in the past. I feel good. You know, I feel strong. I feel like I'm starting to play the way I can. And the team, the young guys have played well. And if I can get my game going the way I had the last few games and contribute to this hockey team, we still feel that we're a competitive hockey club in this conference. And tonight's such a big game for us. A win, we can be 6 points behind Toronto with 3 games in hand. So every game's important, and we're just battling away.
Wayne, you mentioned your road record. It's really good. You're 2 games above 500. Any way to explain why you're so poor at home, 2-6-8 at home?
You know, Bob, we really can't put our finger on it. It's one of those things that's kind of snowballed. We lost a few home games early in the season that were squeakers. You know, 3 or 4 of the games that were scored, teams that scored a goal late in the game to beat us. And maybe we lost a little bit of confidence, and maybe we're just a little bit tight at home, and maybe we're worried about you know, entertaining the fans, and worried about maybe the fans' response to us. So we have played well on the road. We've been very consistent on the road. We've played on the road like we have tonight in the first period most of the year. If we can continue to play like this and carry that home, we still feel we've got a strong team.
Wayne, how much has the style of play in the NHL changed from your heyday with the Edmonton Oilers? Is it really radically different than it used to be in the mid-'80s?
It's different. I mean, you very rarely see open games now, and you know, speed is not as big a factor as it used to be. Now it's more size and power, where it used to be, in the old days, they like guys that were just fast, but now it's a combination of speed and power. And it's changed. I looked up the clock tonight. There was about 7 minutes left in the period, and the shots were 3-2 for us. So it's changed a lot, and you got to change with the game. I'm not saying it's any better or any worse. It's just changed.
Wayne, thanks very much, as always, for doing this. Good luck in second period. Solid start tonight in the first.
All right. Thank you guys very much.
All right. More in a moment on Molson NHL tonight. After 1 in Toronto, the Kings lead the Maple Leafs 2-0.
Good on almost half of the 92-93 season, but 93-94 saw Wayne make a strong return, leading the NHL in scoring for an incredible 11th time and surpassing the legendary Gordie Howe as the all-time leading goal scorer in the NHL.
Ever suffered. Gilmore did not have a shot on goal. And the team start this period off at even strength. Gretzky is out there. Gilmore is not to start the period. Gretzky played over 10 minutes in period number 1. Janssen fires it up. Here's McSorley. Gardner converging up on him. Here's Wood, gets it across in front. McSorley gets it across to Connachter. He'll wheel up with a rising shot that was knocked away by Potvin. Slammed in by Granato. Potvin will drop that off for Janssen. And here comes Janssen feathering it up ahead. Eastwood and Gardner through the neutral zone. Leafs get in a couple of changes, so that rush kind of peters out at the blue line. There's Sundin. Nobody in front yet. Sundin looking around. Back to Gilmore, back to Sundin. Gardner was circling high in the slot. Sundin gets it to Gardner. Up for Gilmore, trying to poke it out. Stolen away by Robert Lang. Here's Mironov. Michel Petit. Just clears it back. Mironov will cruise back to pick it up. A very unkind bounce there for the Leafs. Here's Tocchet trying to center it. Puck bounces to Borshevsky. Up ahead to Gilmore. He's on the way. And circles back. He didn't really have anybody with him. And Petit clears it back in for L.A.
Gilmore and Tocchet had been tied up right in front of the Kings bench. So much so that Tocchet couldn't get off the ice for a line change.
McSorley gets it up around. Burridge trying to come out. Burridge pokes at it. Up to the line, ahead for Drews. Yannick Perreault kicks it into gear. Drews hanging back, going in towards the net. Misfired in the shot. Here's Burridge trying to get it back out. And Perreault couldn't pick it up. double team there by Burridge and Perreault. Yannick Perreault. And Andrechuk will feather it back out. Craig checked there by Burridge. Andrechuk claims the spoils and fires it right back in for Toronto. McSorley overskated it. Here's Ridley. Here's Barahowski with a chance and a shot and knocked away. Gill. Ridley along the boards. Battling there with John Drews. Andrechuk and McSorley along the boards. This is Chris Snell. Up for Burridge, and he's able to hack it out. Now Drews steals it. Drews gets some help. Puck bouncing around. Gretzky fires it up. Gill back there with it now for Toronto. Kings changing them up. Puck up ahead for Lacroix, and that goes up over 2 lines. 16:33 to go. We are early in the second period. Lacroix and Quinn, the goal scorers for LA. Gretzky and Gilmore had the clock on both of them. Gretzky with a couple of more shifts picked up the point, and I mentioned earlier Doug Gilmore did not have a shot on goal in that first period. And it's Gretzky against Sundin on the drop. Sundin out there with Reichel and Yake. Rudy. Into the corner. Petit almost handed that away. And McCowan will start off. Gets it up ahead. Sundin on the way. Yake up to his left as they come to the line. Reichel to his right, curling in towards the net. Yake goes after it. Reichel coming over trying to help out. This is Granato for LA. Gretzky is up to his right, Lacroix to his left. That's Lacroix who couldn't hang on to the puck. Darryl Sador. Up ahead to Lacroix. Yake. And Gretzky will grab the bouncing puck. Whips it up ahead quickly. Granato. Long shot to fire it in, and the Kings will change him up. Back the other way now comes Janssen. And picking his way in is Crowder. Burridge going for the front of the net. In front, Burridge almost cashed in. As Crowder broke in quickly and got it in front of the net. From his knees, McCowan will clear it out of the danger zone. And Janssen gets it up ahead. Trying to break in. Here's Eastwood. In on goal. He goes right on goal. The puck, unfortunately for Eastwood, does not.
Hey, what a move by Eastwood. He zoomed in on the net. Quickly turned, skated backwards, and still got off some type of a shot. I mean, he's shaking his head. I'm kind of shaking my head, too, saying, hey, how did he do that? Watch. He got trimmed up. He goes to his backhand, skating backwards, crashes into the net.
That is a move right out of a Sega Mega Drive somewhere.
Here's Randy Burridge's opportunity. He drove to the net. Eastwood stayed right with him, and Potvin kept the puck out.
Played almost 5 minutes here in the second period. LA up on Toronto 2-0. All the scoring was in the first period. Eric Lacroix, a shorthanded goal, and Dan Quinn with a late goal at 19:42 at even strength. This is Conacher coming up. Burridge burrowing for the net. Almost tapped it home. That's Crowder up there. Here's Conacher. He's battling with Matt Martin, and Martin does a good job to contain him. Here's Gardner. Wood on the way to Mironov. Gardner coming up, looking for that rebound, and Burridge ducked through to pick it up. McSorley. Crowder trailing him there at the line. McSorley will go in himself. McSorley cuts across in front. Crowder fires it up. That was blocked on the way through. This is Eastwood.
Marty McSorley's love of pressuring the puck and going to the net.
McSorley up around the boards. That is knocked down. Gilmore fired that one through. He'll peel around back to the net waiting for it. McSorley got there before he did, or before the puck got to Gilmore, and McSorley and Gilmore again in the corner. Gartner's up there after it. Reichel coming in trying to help out. Berehowski moves up. Not able to keep it in. This is Robert Lang. He's by himself, waiting for the reinforcements to come over the hill, and here they come. Petit fires it in on goal. That's stopped. Here's Quinn after it. Lang in back of the goal. Tocchet is in front. Robert Lang to Tocchet, shooting. Rebound. Quinn almost pounced on top of that. Nice save by Potvin. Reichel coming back. Sundin going hard. Shoots. Rudy stops that.
Big save by Rudy on Sundin, who was looking to go up top but didn't.
A big burst of speed by Sundin to get to that puck. This is Sidor. Up ahead to Lacroix. Knocked away from him. Sidor being chased by Borshevsky. Picked his pocket. Here he is. Borshevsky couldn't get the shot on goal. He was sticked by Petit. Tocchet up ahead for Lacroix. Yannick Perreault hanging back, going towards the front of the net. Janssen hustling after it.
Tocchet and Janssen going at it. Janssen gets knocked down. Tocchet heads to the players' bench.
And Barry Melrose getting in a couple of more changes, gives the Leafs a little extra time. Ridley moves it up. Andrechuk clears it in. Ridley trying to get to it. He's being held up by Granato. This is Yannick Perreault. McCowan rings it around. Andrechuk will just chip it back in. McSorley lumbering back to pick it up. Pat Burns making a couple of changes in the go. Here comes Gardner back. He has Ridley with him. Snell knocks that down.
McSorley got a piece of him on that one-on-one.
Here's Ridley. Andrechuk going towards the front of the net. Back at the line. Martin shoots one. Knocked down. Andrechuk shooting. What a stop. Puck comes out. Martin fires one. That may have hit the post. Andrechuk dips it back of the goal. Here's Gardner in front of the net. Andrechuk couldn't get his stick on it. Now Mironov fires it in. There's a wicked bounce right through the crease. Delayed penalty coming up against LA. Racker back. That was wild. Puck was bouncing everywhere.
Well, some crazy bounces and some great opportunities for the Leafs. Andrechuk caught the puck, and then how did he not put that away? Well, it's because Kelly Rudy got a little piece of it, then it hit the post and came right back out. Kelly Rudy was up and down, and I'll tell you what, you'll make some highlights in Hollywood with those kind of moves.
Hey, Hollywood all the way with that kind of stop. A little bit of help from the post, but that's okay unless you're Andrechuk. Leafs in the power play. Gilmore, Andrechuk, Sundin up front, Janssen and Mironov back at the blue line. Here's Mironov. Over to Janssen. Wires it low and wide. Gilmore fanned on it. 1:40 to go on the power play for Toronto.
With Granato and Conacher out there up front killing penalties for the Kings, they really try to pressure the puck. Conacher went off limping.
He got tangled up with Mironov. This is Janssen. Brings it up there. Sundin hustling up, but Kelly Rudy plays it around the glass and out. Mironov with 1 minute left in the power play for Toronto. Mironov up ahead now for Gill. Gill tried to get it out to Wood. Here's Mironov. Gretzky checking him. Now Gill goes after it. Gill and Lacroix bumping along the boards. Sundin pokes it away. Here's Gilmore. Wood going towards the front of the net. Sundin down low. Tried to center it. Rudy knocked that away, and Mironov couldn't keep it in. .30 seconds to go in the power play for Toronto. 9:49 to go in the second period. The Kings are up 2-0. Here comes Sundin. Shoots. Rudy stopped that one. Ridley after it. And Quinn will start back. Quinn on the way up. Drops it back. And fired just wide of the net by Cowie.
Cowie moved up on that play, and again, the Kings took their opportunity to gamble.
Here's Drews. John Drews and Barahowski, a bit of a battle. Drews couldn't get the shot away. Sundin, meanwhile, comes back. Over to Ridley. Sundin going to the net. So is Gill. Shoots. And up over the glass and out of play. The teams are back at even strength.
Not for long, though.
Yeah, a short-lived even strength situation.
Kings are picking up a penalty. Potvin went racing to the bench. Woods doing some pushing and shoving in front with Marty McSorley.
And Cowie there as well.
Yeah, he figures he's going to get in there and push and shove a little.
Well, because Marty McSorley needs somebody to fight his battles for him.
Well, Cowie just took a jab at Barahowski, so they may end up going off for roughing.
It's Don Kaharski, the referee, trying to sort everything out and getting Cowie to step back from the fray.
Cowie's picked up a couple of goals, had an assist in his last 8 games. Gretzky refers to him as a young guy. He's 27 years of age, but I guess when you're 34 and you feel maybe many days like you're 54, as much as Gretzky's played in this league, that everyone's pretty young. Leafs set up a 3-on-2 you could see coming back. Right here was Todd Gill. He was a late man, and here was a 3-on-1 opportunity. Sorley went down, got a piece of that. Todd Gill moving in, found lots of open ice and coming in late. Kelly Hrudey has played very well in tonight's game. He's made some outstanding saves, and Barry Melrose put the word out that you can expect to see Kelly Hrudey play a fair amount. He's been on a hot streak. Grant Fuhr hasn't.
So out of all of that, it's John Drews who ends up with the high sticking penalty. And the Leafs with the power play. Their 4th power play chance of the night. Mentioned at the top of the show, you're talking about Hrudey. He's been pretty solid. I mean, you've got the worst defensive team in the league statistically, but he's given up 3 or fewer goals against in 10 of his 13 starts. That's not too bad. Here comes Gilmore. Andrechuk and Sundin move up. Here's Andrechuk, big chance, off the post. That's his 2nd post of the game. Andrechuk down to Sundin, tried to center it. Hrudey will hang on.
Well, the crowd a little antsy because Don Kaharski, they thought blew the whistle too soon, but the Leafs are desperate right now for a goal. Their power play has been blanked, and it's something, their power play, that's performed pretty well for them as of late. Andrechuk has hit the post twice now, and he's got to be a little bit frustrated. This last attempt by Andrechuk, watch. He uses that big reach. He's got plenty of time just to snap that puck. He goes for the short side, and what does he get but the post? Here's a better angle of it right from up top. You can see that defensively, Andrechuk had been left all alone with lots of open ice and lots of time to take a look where he wanted to shoot it.
Players sometimes play a game called post-post crossbar. You try to hit each with the fewest number of shots. He's got 2 shots, a post and a post.
Well, Andrechuk was also hoping that Hrudey just might make his move. He's trying to wait him out.
Andrechuk will pass on the crossbar, I'm sure, if he gets a chance. Gill couldn't glove that down. 1:15 to go in the power play for Toronto. Big power play for the Leafs in that they have been frustrated offensively. A couple of posts, a couple of good Kelly Hrudey saves. The Kings are up 2-0 and have only 10 shots on goal. The Leafs are out shooting them 15-10. And this is their 4th power play chance of the game. Here's Gilmore. Tried to get it in front to Andrechuk. That's knocked away. Lacroix swinging at it. This is Barahowski. Looking in front, there's nobody there. He tries to go back to Sundin, and that's Sundin battling away with Petit. Here's Barahowski. Up to Gilmore. Back to Gill. Winds it up with a shot. That's wide. Off the boards. It's under Hrudey, and he will collapse on it. And that's Sador, who was mixing it up with Andrechuk.
Andrechuk just shoved him and right into Kelly Hrudey. Meanwhile, Drake Barahowski had done a good job. He's playing his offside on the point in the power play, but had really worked hard at keeping that puck in to give the Leafs some more scoring opportunities. Greg Berehowski maybe hasn't had a lot of confidence. There you see Gilmore. He puts it back right here to Gil. Now watch Gil. He's got his head up. He just aims right for Sundin. He wasn't aiming for the glove side of Rudy where there was more room. He sees Anderchuk in front, but he sees Sundin wide open, and he was trying his best to hit Sundin so he could deflect it. You see Gilmore coming in behind the net in his favorite position. The Leafs need to get their power play going. They're ranked 6th overall in the National Hockey League. The Chicago Blackhawks and the Detroit Red Wings right up there, 1 and 2.
It's interesting in the replay. It looked as though almost Sundin wasn't expecting that play when Gil fired it in. He looked almost surprised that it was coming for him rather than the net. .30 seconds left in the power play. Ridley, Craig, and Wood out there for the Leafs. Granato on the faceoff for the Kings and controls that well. Couldn't get it out though. Here's Mironov. Over to Janssen. Here's Wood. Back out for Janssen. Back up to Wood. Craig is parked there just off the edge of the crease. Ridley shoots. Rudy stopped that. 10 seconds left in the power play. Craig into the corner trying to crash it loose. He does. Here's Ridley. Wood. Back to Ridley. Ridley up to Wood. In front to Craig. That was knocked away. Penalized player is back on. Here's Ridley coming out. In front. Fired wide by Mironov. Craig after it. Janssen chops at it. John Druce out of the box and back into the play. Here's Ridley. Over to Mironov. Cowie gets it around the boards and out.
So the Leafs get nothing for their power play efforts, but had good possession.
Icing called in LA, and they continue to lead 2-0. Laquan Quinn with the goals. Well, be sure to join us 1 week from tonight. The Montreal Canadiens against the Philadelphia Flyers. Get a look at the principals in that big trade between the two teams going head-to-head. Should be fun. 7:30 Eastern Time, 4:30 Pacific Time on Molson NHL tonight. There's Berehowski. Eastwood was going there towards the front of the net looking for that bounce off the boards. Manderville after it. Here's Eastwood. Skipped by Gartner. And Lang coming back. Up ahead for Tocchet. And a delayed penalty coming up. It is going to go against the Leafs. Quinn getting up very slowly back behind the play. And it's an interference call against Toronto.
Dan Quinn got clipped back in the Leafs zone. He got up slowly. Seems to be all right. Eastwood just drilled the guy. Eastwood had a good shift. He won a face-off in his own end zone that set up a scoring opportunity. But watch this. Eastwood came in and Quinn didn't have the puck. Puck wasn't even close to him, and Eastwood just put the shoulder into him and sent Quinn flying.
Well, and you notice who had the front row seat was Don Koharski. Couldn't have been more than 4 feet from where it all took place.
Watch Eastwood here. He's got somebody coming from behind. It's Rick Tocchet. He should have heard the whistle blowing. Tocchet saw him put Quinn down and so wanted to go back after Eastwood, but thought better of it with Eastwood getting a penalty.
Hey, that's Tocchet's game. One of his best years. In fact, his best year point-wise back in 92-93 with Pittsburgh. He had the 109 points, but that year he also had 252 penalty minutes hand in hand.
Yeah, over the last 7 years, this guy still averaged 35 goals. He sat in the penalty box for 200 minutes a game, and he's on that rate again this year.
Tocchet up after it. Back to McSorley, shooting. And Potvin saw that all the way. Rudy out to handle the puck, works it up and around. Kings on the power play. Granato's up there. Gretzky as well. Here's McSorley. McSorley and Snell are back at the blue line. Tocchet is the other forward. Granato fires it in. Tocchet moving up after it. Here's Gretzky. Walking in. Gretzky had it poked away. Granato will pick it up. Nice effort by Ridley to poke it out. He'll motor down after it. Kelly Rudy says, oh, no, you don't. Comes out to play it. And Wood comes up there. Here's Ridley. McSorley kicking at it. Stick was tied up. Here's Gretzky. Gave it away to Gardner. He shoots. Rudy stopped that. Another shot, and Rudy stops that one too.
Well, Gretzky went for the dangerous pass right up the middle, and Mike Gardner, the man that is right behind Wayne Gretzky in active players in goal scoring, just picked that pass off perfectly. Watch Gretzky. He picks it up, and now he goes to the middle of the ice. That's where Mike Gardner was waiting, and that's why Mike Gardner has scored so many goals in his career. Good anticipation and a great shot. Gardner wound up with one of those famous blasting slap shots of his, but Kelly Rudy had the angle covered all the way.
44 seconds left in LA's power play. Rudy with that great road record. The team has played very well on the road. Heard Bob McKenzie and John asking Wayne Gretzky about that between periods, but in a real funk at home.
From the one point he made, there might be a lot too. Trying to put on a show at home. Everybody playing their own game instead of the team game.
Here's Manderville. Shoots. Rudy kicks that away. 3 shots on goal for Toronto. They're shorthanded.
Under control. 30 seconds.
You can hear Sador yelling out, under control, 30 seconds. And he gets the team moving. Yannick Perreault gets it back to Petit. And Gardner moves it up ahead. Here comes Manderville. Gardner, open on the right side, will step up, shoots. And solid work by the Leafs, shorthanded. They had better scoring chances than LA. Perreault shoots one in. Potvin kicked that aside. Burridge up there after it. Here comes Yannick Perreault. Petit fired. Janssen blocked that. And play is called. A penalty coming up.
Petit and McCowan roughing it up. Gilmore even had to get his little.
Looks as though they may be offsetting, but we'll sort that out for you when we come back on Molson NHL Tonight. Game for the TSN Turning Point, brought to you by Interstate Batteries. Fresh power guaranteed.
Oh, please, oh.
To McSorley, over to Tocchet with the rocket. Fired that one wide. McSorley. Here's Tocchet going after it. Looking for Quinn down along the boards. Quinn squeezed there. Puck comes back out. Cowie up to Tocchet. Tried to tuck it back up there to Quinn. Long shift for Quinn. He'll head to the bench. So will Tocchet. 3:09 to play in the period. 2-0. LA leading. No scoring so far here in the second period.
Sundin broke out of the zone quickly, hoping to take advantage of the LA line change. Didn't work.
Pass up there at the line, trying to hit Ridley. Now Sundin is up there. That was blocked on the way through. Snell got a foot on it. And here comes Chris Snell. Snell with Granato trailing. He drops it to him. Granato shoots. Potvin stops it. Rebound Granato. 2-3 chances. It's knocked away. Got the initial shot and a couple of whacks at the rebound. This is Janssen in over the blue line. Ridley's up there with him. So is Andrechuk. Janssen being pressured there by Gretzky. Gretzky trying to work that puck loose. Janssen gets it up to Ridley. Gets it out. Andrechuk shoots. Ridley was going towards the net, but Rudy was able to control the rebound. Here comes Gretzky back up. Lead pass ahead for Granato. Gretzky coming up there. He's got it now. Drops it out. Snell with a shot. And Gardner will pick it up. Gill up to the line. Andrechuk peeling in on the right side. Gardner up there too. Gill centers it. Andrechuk took a whack at it. Snell was watching him. Penalized players are back on, and we are back to 5-on-5. Michel Petit up ahead to Gretzky. Wayne Gretzky up to McSorley. Stepping in. Stepping up. Shooting. Rebound right in front. That's poked away. to get it. Robert Lang watching him. Burridge stepped into Gill as play comes out. Eastwood all the way across. Wood after it. Gardner was up there with him. This is Wood. Eastwood coming up with him. Gardner is moving in down the middle. Wood cuts in, tried to stuff it home. Rudy had him. Less than a minute to go. Mironov shoots. Rudy kicks that one aside. 53 seconds to go in the period. Mironov fires it. That was blocked. That was Burridge who came out and took it off the shin guards. This is McSorley. Up around the boards. The puck was caught on Gardner. It finally dropped off of him. Eastwood rolls it up. Gardner going for the front of the net. Wood with a sharp angle. And Rudy will hang on to it. 29.6 seconds to go in the period. Good late period pressure by the Leafs.
Well, Randy Wood had his opportunities. Randy Wood is third on the team when it comes to shots on net. He certainly isn't afraid to go to the net and whack away at that puck. Meanwhile, Pat Burns can't be too pleased with Tony Granato's opportunities that he had on Felix Potvin. Now watch, there's Granato's first chance. Janssen took his man around. Mironov, I'm not quite sure what he was doing there. He's got to take the body, and he's got to take Granato totally out of the play. Granato had 3 opportunities on Felix Potvin. Potvin had to be wondering what was going on with his defense.
Gilmore on the draw against Conacher. Sador going after the puck. Up ahead to Conacher. Gretzky up to his left. Conacher going towards the front of the goal. Gretzky fed it through there. Granato looking for it. Sundin will battle his way back out. Lead pass for Sundin. Gilmore is up there too. And the Leafs and the Kings skate through 2 periods. And LA with a 2-0 lead. The same lead they had after 1. Lacroix and Quinn with goals back in the first. No scoring in the second.
Well, when you're playing well as a goaltender, posts help you out. Potvin made some great saves, especially in the last on Granato, but Kelly Rudy made some spectacular ones. He was up and down and all around, and that's why the Kings still have a 2-0 lead.
The Leafs with 2 goalposts, both from Andrechuk, but no goals. Coming up in our second intermission, John Wells and Bob McKenzie back at TSN Hockey Control. Also let you know what's going on in some other games, among them Montreal, Pittsburgh, Washington, Tampa, and Chicago, Dallas. 2-0 through 2 on Molson NHL tonight.
Through 2, but the Kings still have the lead on the scoreboard. It's 2-0 as we get set for the 3rd period at the Garden.
Well, it's March break and a zillion young kids at pregame practice this morning. This young man right here, leaning on the rail, is Dustin Russo, who was last year Hockey News' Minor Hockey Player of the Year. He's 13 years of age. He's from Wawa, Ontario. He's here with his mom and dad. Got an opportunity this morning to meet Wayne Gretzky, Doug Gilmore, Grant Fuhr, and a host of others, and he's got to be one of the happiest young 13-year-olds in Canada tonight.
So now Wawa is famous for 2 things.
The Big Goose
Dustin and
Dustin Russo.
The gigantic goose, which if you've driven across the country, you've gone through Wawa, and you've no doubt seen it. It's hard to miss.
You see the record after 2 periods. Win leading, Los Angeles, a pretty fair record. The Leafs not so great.
Now, no big surprise. It's tough to come from behind in the 3rd period, and the Kings with only 1 come from behind victory in the 3rd period this year.
Actually, that was a big part of the game plan, I think, for not Pat Burns, but for Barry Melrose coming into tonight's game, because the LA Kings had never won a game this year when they had lost going, or when they were losing going into the 2nd period. They tied 1, but had never won one. So just get out of the 1st period with a lead, and they've got a hope. They've got more than a hope right now. They've got a 2-0 lead and a goaltender who has been outstanding.
A very successful road trip for the LA Kings. Rolling merrily along, and the Leafs closing out a homestand. It would be their 2nd loss of the homestand to go with a couple of wins and a tie.
35-year-old Pat Conacher taking that draw against Gilmore.
Granato coming in trying to pick it loose. He and Reichel hook and hack one another into the corner. Cowie after it. Here's Sundin. Gilmore closing in towards the front of the net. Sundin tried to come out. Gretzky will just flick it down the ice. And Janssen gets there first. Icing is called on LA. Gretzky and Gilmore, we've had the clock on them tonight, and Gretzky about the same amount of ice time more than Gilmore that he had after the first period, and Gilmore still yet to get a shot on goal.
Gretzky with one. You chuckle at me, don't you, when I talk about Wayne Gretzky becoming a great defensive player in the National Hockey. He could go for the Selke ball. That's a trophy he hasn't won.
Not at all. There's a great two-way player, Doug Gilmore. Selke nominee, Selke winner. Here comes McCowan. Centers it out in front, and a real scrum. The puck dips in back. Burridge will pick it up. Here's Yannick Perreault. Looking for the trailer. Petit was moving up there. He tried to go across to John Drews. Here's Drews. Burridge knocked down by Gilmore. And Janssen will start back. Reichel wires that one in. Burridge after it. Gilmore trying to get there. Reichel does. Sundin in front. And what a stop by Kelly Rudy, to cop a phrase from Danny Gallivan. That was larcenous.
Well, that it was, but the way that Reichel was hacking away down there, it ended up working. Reichel got possession of the puck in the corner. Kelly Rudy once again left all alone. Now watch Reichel here. Gilmore had fought for the puck along the boards. Reichel was smart enough just to pass that puck out as quickly as he could because he knew that Sundin was there. Sundin got the shot away. He tried to catch Rudy by surprise, but now other Leafs have tried to catch Rudy by surprise tonight, and then they've been surprised.
Hey, Rudy can't fail. The way he has been playing in this game. A minute and a half into the third period, working in the shutout, and several spectacular stops. What did I say? That one in off of Robert Lang, number 13, ricocheted off his skate.
Now the Leafs at this point and their fans will take them any way they can get them tonight. Looked pretty harmless. Greg just fell down and just aimed that puck towards the front of the net. I say the front of the net because when he was going down, he just kind of swept at that puck and it ended up in the net. Mike Craig got up and couldn't believe what he just had.
An unassisted goal for Mike Craig. It hit Robert Lang and bounced in behind Rudy. Here comes Gretzky on the way back. 2-1. The Leafs get on the board. Gretzky walking up, works it down. Granado in front of the net for Lacroix. And Lacroix bumping down along the wall. Gretzky trying to center it out in front. Oh, and Lacroix bounced right into Potvin and the net.
Well, Gartner didn't help his own goaltender, Felix Potvin, with that move. Potvin's getting up pretty slowly. Watch this, two men on one. Mironov and Gartner got their man. Now watch when Gartner comes back now, though. He wants to get his man even more. Lacroix was wondering what was going on there.
You heard her going coast to coast. That was post to post.
Gartner and Mironov both took Lacroix on the corner. There's Mike Craig. They say that just put the puck on the net, towards the net, and sometimes good things will happen. Well, that couldn't be truer. Good for Mike Craig.
That wasn't even towards the net. That was just towards the slot. Here's McSorley. Shoots. High drive pulled in by Potvin, and he'll hold on to it.
So now it's Felix Potvin's turn to shine right now. He played pretty well in the first two periods, and it has to be up to him right now to make sure that he doesn't let any more in, so that it gives his team the opportunity
to get back even on the scoreboard.
He's had 16 shots fired his way, a meager total from the Kings. The Kings had scored 2 goals on 6 shots. Mironov. This is Granato with it. All the way across. It was bouncing towards Gretzky. Now Lacroix comes in. Gretzky going around the other way. It doesn't get as far as the corner where Gretzky was headed. This is Wood. Up to Eastwood. Sidor starting back for LA. Dan Quinn trying to shift his way loose through a couple of league players to get to that puck. It's cleared back out, however. Petit works it up, delayed offside. Tocchet came out and starts right back in with it. Up ahead for Quinn. Here's Quinn with Lang in front, tried to center it. Potvin stopped that. Petit rolls it up. Here's Lang. Tocchet's out in the slot. And Gilmore will start back. Lead pass up ahead, almost sprung Sundin. Sidor off the boards. Here's Reichel. Shoots it in there. Gilmore trying to catch up to it. Gill moves around to the point. He'll back up, though, because the Kings are on the fly. King rolling it down into Toronto territory. Berehowski up there. And holds the fort. Will get a face-off down in Toronto territory.
Tempers up. A little pushing and shoving. Time for a break.
Leafs down by 1. Mike Craig getting them on the scoreboard at 1:36 here in the third.
Have let in this season. They still are 9th best offensively in this league. Only 9 teams in this league, Paul, score more than 3 goals a game, and the Kings are one of them.
Here comes Berehowski.
Just doesn't seem like many, does it? Many teams or many goals.
Conacher tried to zip it up there. Burridge was attempting to move between the D-men. Craig fires it in. Marty McSorley starts out. Snakes his way up towards center. McSorley still with it. McSorley still got it. Hit the top of the slot, and that was that. Here's Conacher getting it back to Sidor. And McSorley heads to the bench, as do a number of other Kings, and they'll change him up while Gill starts back for Toronto. Gilmore catching up with it. Has Sundin and Reichel out there with him. Gilmore down hard, trying to get it out in front. Bouncing puck. Sundin knocks it down. Here's Gilmore. Sidor hustles after it. All the way up, intended for Gretzky. Janssen tapped it away. Janssen will get it back again. And that's knocked down by Gretzky. Gretzky over to Granato. Here's Gilmore. Gretzky poked it away from him. Janssen on the way up. Here's Sundin across for Janssen. Snell moving it up ahead. Yannick Perreault to the line. Gardner poking at it. Drew's trying to get it across. Here comes Mironov on the way back. He's got Wood up to his left. Eastwood breaking in towards the net. He gets there, and Rudy is right there. Eastwood came exploding down the right-hand side, and Rudy with a nice stop. This is McSorley back the other way. McSorley trying to work it across. Here comes Quinn. Shoots. Potvin pulls it in, and he'll hang on.
Well, Potvin's doing his job, but at the other end, Kelly Rudy is still doing his. Eastwood went right to the net, right where he knew he should be, looking for a puck, and Wood just found Eastwood. Eastwood deflected that puck beautifully, and Kelly Rudy once again made a great save. Eastwood just tried to shovel it up and over Kelly Rudy, but Rudy got a piece of it.
Shots on goal 28-18 in favor of Toronto. Leading the game, the LA Kings 2-1. Ridley up in the draw against Robert Long.
Ridley just won that draw cleanly. Long hasn't won many draws tonight for the Kings.
Andrechuk will catch up to this. Ridley and Craig both up there. Long and Ridley tied up. Ridley works it across. Martin shoots it in, and Rudy will hang on. It's Mike Craig. A whirling dervish-like attack as he whirled across in front of the net.
Craig figured he just might give Rudy a little tap to see if he could jar that puck loose, but that wasn't the case. Hollywood had it all the way.
More action tomorrow from the World Nordic Championship. Lisa Bowes, a cast of thousands in Thunder Bay, where the weather is beautiful. Record temperatures up there. Here's Barahowski. Shoots. Big crowd in front. Andrechuk, Craig, they're all hammering away. Penalty coming up. Petit had a big hold of Andrechuk, and he'll get called for holding.
Well, defensemen for years have been trying to figure out how do you take down big Dave Andrechuk and control him and stop him from scoring goals with that big long reach of his. Well, that wasn't exactly the way. Petit was slow getting up. Watch this. Andrechuk is still holding his ground. He just can't be taken down. Petit finally takes him down, but not only does he go to the penalty box, but he's got big Andrechuk right on top of him at the same time, and that can't be too comfortable. It's kind of a body slam.
This is the Leafs' 5th power play chance of the game. They've had 5 shots on goal and no power play goals.
Petit, one of the many defensemen on the Kings who's been out this year with a groin injury.
Here's Gill over to Barahowski. Andrechuk planted right in front. Oh, what a grab by Rudy. That popped up. Mike Craig was right there, and Rudy snapped it up.
Before Mike Craig could even get his stick close to that puck, Kelly Rudy had snapped it right out of the air, and Rudy just again continues to take opportunities away from the Leafs. Watch, Craig got out of the crease quickly. He got a piece of that puck, deflected it, and then tried to get the rebound, but Rudy had smothered it. Mike Craig was in the right place, though, at the right time.
1:52 to go in the power play for Toronto. Ridley, Andrechuk, and Craig. Gill and Barahowski back at the blue line. And Granato gets it down the ice for LA. Conacher is also up front. And back in the blue line, Cowie and McSorley, the first penalty killing unit for the Kings. LA with 1 shorthanded goal in this game. Eric Lacroix got it back in the first period. Barahowski rings it up there. Delayed offside in Toronto. 1:27 to go in the power play.
Well, Dave Andrechuk and the Toronto Maple Leafs were probably hoping with this beautiful weather here in Toronto today, what was it, about 70 degrees? If they had taken a look at the LA Kings home record, 2 wins, 8 losses, and 2 ties, they might have hoped for the best, thinking that LA waking up with this beautiful temperature might have thought that they were home today and might have played as though they were at home. Not the case, though. Tonight, Andrechuk's had difficulties putting the puck in the net, and Barry Melrose team continues here with 12 minutes and 50 seconds to go with a 1-goal lead.
Although the way the weather is in some parts of California, you want to make the Kings feel at home. You might want it to start raining. That puck was snapped up right into the Kings bench.
A lot of hockey fans couldn't believe a game being postponed this past week because of rain.
Game in San Jose was rained out.
Watch this. Marty McSorley tries to clear the puck, but hey, you don't take your coach out. He was just testing to make sure Melrose was into the game, focused. Good reflexes, good concentration.
Either that or he had a deal going with Melrose's dentist. Here's McSorley after it again. Gilmore comes over. Sundin is in front. Here's Janssen. Over to Mironov. There's the shot, and there's the stop by Rudy. That has a familiar ring to it. Rudy has been stopping him all night. Here's Janssen. Works it across. Gilmore. Back to Janssen at the top of the point. Sundin is planted right in front, battling with Sador. 57 seconds left in the power play. Here's Sundin. Back to Mironov. And Rudy robs Gilmore. Gilmore jabbing at it, but Rudy stretching back with another 10 out of 10 stop.
If you're going to go to the net, you're going to end up paying the price sooner or later, and Gilmore had to pay the price. Unfortunately, he didn't get a bonus for it. He deflected that puck, and once again, Rudy takes it away from him, but then Marty McSorley just crunches Gilmore. Watch this. Gilmore was on his forehand side, got a piece of it, but then Marty McSorley got a piece of Gilmore, ramming him into the goal post and giving him a real working over. Watch it from this angle. Gilmore had that foot out. He got a piece of that puck when it was between the pads of Kelly Rudy, trying to jam it underneath of him, and then he got jammed for his efforts.
.47 seconds to go in the man advantage. Gilmore, Andrechuk, Sundin, they're all out there. Mironov back at the blue line, and Kenny Janssen as well.
Gilmore scored 40% of the Toronto Maple Leafs goals last season.
His point per game average higher with the Leafs than it was with Calgary. Here's Mironov. Janssen works it up. Sundin up to Gilmore. Andrechuk's in front. A little bit of a battle going with Granato, and now McSorley moves in to try to move Andrechuk. Sundin up after it. And the puck flipped down the ice. Conacher got his stick on it. 25 seconds left in Toronto's power play.
Sador is hurt.
And how bad would that be for LA? Rob Blake is already out, their best offensive defenseman. Daryl Sador is their second best offensive defenseman, and he is down and not looking good.
He tried to get up, but then he dropped back to his knees. And Barry Melrose has got to be thinking, who next on the blue line? There's nobody left.
Segurov, another defenseman, is out.
Sundin was in the collision, but Sador was already down with his helmet off. Watch right here. He dives for the puck, tries to get it, and McSorley and Sundin both ran him over, so no wonder he's shaken up on the play. Sador, a 22-year-old defenseman for the Kings that has got a bright future with him. The Kings used to say, though, that back in the blue line, they had Sador, Blake, and Zhitnik, just three fine defensemen. Well, Blake isn't playing much these days because of his groin injury. Zhitnik is gone. Sador is here.
I think the Kings will live to regret that deal, trading away Zhitnik.
Well, it all depends on how Boucher and Sugarov end up developing. Right now, Boucher is out for the rest of the season with an injury.
Here's Andrechuk up, fires that one wide. Janssen picks it up. Across to Mironov. Shoots off the post. That's street post tonight for the Leafs. Here's Andrechuk. Out to Sundin. Shoots. Rebound in front. Gilmore's after it. And the loose puck cradled onto the stick of Petit, who gets it up ahead to John Druce. Druce trying to work his way in. Janssen bumping him in the corner. Kings on a line change. The teams are at even strength. 11 minutes remaining in the third period. Toronto is trailing LA 2-1. Here comes Mironov. Shoots. Rudy stops it. Here's Mike Craig. And the puck just fired down the ice by Randy Burridge. Right on goal, no icing. Here comes Wood. Has Craig over to his right. Craig back up for Wood. Ridley is in front. Here's Gill. Shoots. Tipped in front by Craig. It was tipped with a high stick anyway. So had he deflected it in, the goal would have been waved off. At least that was the indication from Don Koharski. Kings up by 1. Gareth Butcher.
Hey, and our old pal Jim Houston, too, a new father. Boy, Paul, we better stay away from those people. Could be catchy.
Oh, you see there's a lockout and what goes on. Here's Barahowski. 10:16 to go in the third period. Rudy with 12 saves in the third period so far, 16 in the second.
Charlie Henry, who has been many times, well, that's not Charlie Henry. In fact, that's Tom Bitove Jr., but Charlie he's on the other side of Walter. There he is. Charlie and Walter have been best pals for a long time, and I asked Wayne whether they were coming to the game tonight. He said, oh, they're already here this morning. He said, you mean Harold and King? They're probably in the bunker. Walter Gretzky, by the way, is coaching Doug Harvey's grandson in Brantford in Pee Wee hockey.
Eastwood up after it. Here's Manderville. Cuts away. Manderville forging it on goal. The puck bouncing and rolling right over top. Here's Gill. And the Kings will be called for icing. Literally, the bounce is not going the Leafs' way around the Kings' net. A wild bounce there. 3 goalposts. And Rudy has made several.
Sparks, Bruce, nor Burridge could figure it out.
Rudy stops that. Way back when the Peterborough Petes, before they had Pete's in the front of their jersey, were sponsored by a company called Toronto Peterborough Trucking, and that was the logo they had in their jersey.
And Wayne Gretzky played 3 games as a Peterborough Pete way back before he was drafted to play for the Sault Ste. Marie Greyhounds. And in fact, there's a picture of Gretzky in a Pete's uniform in the new Pete's book that's out.
Here's McCowan, shoots! Gilmore trying to wrap it around. Reichel's in front. He's bumped. The puck cleared away. Janssen after it. McCowan almost kept it in.
Well, the Leafs have done everything trying to put a puck to tie this game up by Kelly Rudy. And Pat Burns has got to be a little bit perplexed. They need this win tonight as far as he was concerned. There's the shot from the point. McCowan was able to get a good drive away. Rudy just got a piece of it, and Stills up and down all around. He's fishing for the puck. He's a little unorthodox, but he's getting the job done tonight. The Leafs wanted this win at home tonight because here's where they go. They hit the road tomorrow to play a game in San Jose on Wednesday, and then they just keep on rolling up the West Coast.
This is the longest road trip the Leafs have left in the season, consecutive games on the road. And they have just finished up their longest homestand remaining in the season. 5 games in a row at home.
I should say up and down the West Coast.
Here comes McSorley. Just under 9 minutes remaining in the third period. It is 2-1. The LA Kings leading both their goals back in the first period. Eric Lacroix and Dan Quinn. Mike Craig scoring for Toronto early in the third. Here comes McCowan. Andrechuk up to Craig. Shots on goal here in the third. 15-2 in favor of Toronto. 15 and counting, no doubt, as Ridley comes in over the line. Craig up there after it. Here's Tocchet, gets it up ahead. Quinn in over the line. Tocchet going to the front of the net. Scores! Rick Tocchet makes it 3-1 LA.
Well, doesn't that just take the wind out of the tires of the Leafs? They've been trying to score, can't, and all of a sudden Quinn got that puck through to Tocchet. Andrechuk was, or McCowan, I should say, was trying to pick Tocchet up from behind, but wasn't successful. Tocchet sure didn't get much on that first shot. In fact, he dribbled it, but then was able to deflect that puck right between Potvins' legs. The Kings get a lucky one, and the Leafs wish that they could get a little bit of that luck.
Tocchet, the leading scorer on the LA Kings this year, and he adds a couple of more points tonight, a goal and an assist. 13 goals, 12 assists. And prorated, you were talking earlier, Gary, right on track for his usual 35-goal season or so.
He's added character to this team, even though the results haven't been great yet.
Wood after it. Here's Eastwood. Gartner moving up there. Tocchet on the move up to the line, but Gill will pick it up. Here comes Mironov. 7.5 minutes to go in the third period. 3-1 LA. Gretzky has a point tonight, but does not have a goal. He's gone 6 games without a goal.
And he doesn't care as long as they win.
Here's McSorley poking at it. Warren Reichel.
Shouldn't say he does care. Doesn't care, because he does care. He wants some more points. As long as the team wins right now, Wayne Gretzky will have a smile on his face.
Reichel bumped into the boards. Reichel and McSorley.
That's a good check from his old teammate. Reichel just got thumped into the boards by Marty McSorley.
And icing called in L.A. McSorley with the hit. He's also got an assist tonight. The Kings are up 3-1. Wearing the familiar Jofa-style black helmet, and somewhere on that helmet, or inside the helmet, he has the initials RW, a tribute to a young friend of his, Robbie Wilcox, who met Wayne in December as part of the Children's Wish program. Puck feathered in front of the net. Rudy trying to hang on to it. Here's Janssen back at the line. Janssen striding up. He's knocked down. Don Gaharski moved the whistle up, but then dropped his arm back down. Here's Sundin, centers it across in front. Gilmore goes after it. Sador and Gilmore battling along the boards. Here's Reichel. Reichel trying to fish it loose. Gilmore gets it in front to Sundin, shoots. Rudy stops that. And Reichel lost his stick going to the front of the net. He retrieves the stick. The Leafs keep it in. Gilmore goes after it. He's lost his glove. Here's Reichel. Sundin will pick it up. And Gretzky will start back. Gretzky, McSorley coming up to join him. Long shot.
Gretzky didn't have anyone going for the net or anyone looking to take a pass from him. He's not used to that. He misses Jari Kurri out there tonight. Kurri is suffering from that hip flexor he got in Winnipeg on Saturday night.
Here comes Ridley on the way through. Mike Craig was up there with him, but Ridley had it pulled away by Drews. Yannick Perreault went over the blue line, and offside is called on L.A.
Drews was upset because he got hauled down at the blue.
Tonight's game story brought to you by Interstate Batteries Children's Wish program. His wish was granted in December. Robbie passed away just a little while ago, and Wayne is wearing the initials right there on the side. Rob.
There you see it.
And the helmet will be given to Rob's family after the game.
Wayne Gretzky has done a tremendous service for the Wish Foundation, which is just a tremendous service over the years.
Here comes Andrechuk on the way. Rudy. This is Cowie who will move it over. 5:05 to go in the third period. It is 3-1 LA leading. Bruce gets it back. Perreault sizzles one in wide. Here's Ridley. Might have been too many men in the ice. Drews was heading to the bench. And play is whistled down. Rick Tocchet's in there somewhere. Too many men in the ice penalty, and Rick is serving it.
Well, Barry Melrose doesn't like that call, has to take it. Meanwhile, Pat Burns probably figures that the Kings have had too many men on the ice all night long, but those extra men have been dressed up in red, as in goalposts. 3 goalposts in tonight's game.
The power play has been more of a millstone than an asset tonight for the Leafs. They're -1 in the power play. Gilmore trying to get it to Sundin. That's knocked away. Mironov and Janssen are the point men. Wood, Sundin, and Gilmore up front. Sador comes away from Sundin with the puck. Mironov at the line. And Granato just chops it down the ice. And the Kings will change him up quickly. 1:15 to go in the power play. The Leafs down by a pair. Less than 4 minutes to go in the third period. And here comes Sundin. Rudy there to trap it.
Good stop by Rudy.
Chris Snell back to pick it up. Gets it around the boards. Here's Wood. Gilmore is down low. He'll take the pass. Sundin goes to the front of the net with Wood. Barahowski right up there. Only one man back for the Leafs. Mironov at the top of the point. Here's Gilmore trying to center it. Snell blocked the pass. Snell back up and after it. And just gets it by Barahowski.
I'm sure Barahowski was having difficulties, and he's on his right side now. He had better success keeping the puck in when he was in his offside.
Here's Gretzky.
Let's go, let's go.
Barahowski back to Mironov. 22 seconds left in the man advantage for Toronto. Leafs did not have a shot on goal in their last power play and have not fired a shot on goal in this one.
Barahowski is lucky there because he just pulled Tony Granato down from behind.
Here's Ridley. Barahowski couldn't keep it in. Leafs are 0 for 6 in the power play. Barahowski gets it to Ridley. 2 minutes and 35 seconds to go. Mike Craig on the way up there. Crisscrossing with Andrechuk. Gill is up 2. Ridley up to join the rush. Andrechuk is parked in front. But he has a long wait. Puck's not coming out towards the goal. Here's McCowan. Ridley has to come out and clear the zone for the Leafs to get onside. Here's Gretzky. Tocchet's on the way towards the net. Gretzky just dumping it in there, and Potvin will hang on to it. 2:03 to go in the game. 3-1 is the score. The Kings leading the Toronto Maple Leafs.
For future considerations from the Tampa Bay Lightning.
How about this for a line? Sutter with Reichel and Bird.
Well, they could bang and crash. Get some momentum going for the team.
Here comes Sundin, trying to turn it up on Cowie. And Cowie hung in there with him. Puck knocked in front, backhand shot knocked away. Janssen had the chance. And McSorley will start back. Drew's up ahead of him on the right-hand side. Burridge coming in on the left-hand side. Burridge is dumped up. Drew's over to pick it up. Conacher just dumps it back in there for LA. Less than a minute and a half to go. Janssen clears it in there. Here's Petit. He's bumped by Gilmore. Gretzky gets it up ahead to Granato. Tocchet up at the line will take it.
Hey, good shot by Tocchet. Too bad the whistle had gone. The net was empty. Don Kaharski discussing right now with Granato
what the whistle was for.
Exactly. Well, I'm trying to guess here. No goal. Why, Don? No. Kaharski just elbowed the glass. Well, we know why the whistle had blown.
Well,
why did the whistle blow? Maybe that's why Kaharski elbowed the glass, because he knew he made a mistake. That's why he took some of his frustration out, and he's still mad at himself.
Kings going for their 3rd win in a row. Will be their 3rd win in a row on the road. They head into Detroit tomorrow to play the Detroit Red Wings as they continue the road trip. And boy, it's been a good one. Talked earlier in the show about how well the Kings have been playing on the road. Not so well at home, where they have only 2 wins. Gilmore up there after it. Less than a minute to go. Here's Sundin. Leafs down by 2. Sundin fires it in. That didn't make it. Here's Mike Craig. 40 seconds left. Leafs with the extra attacker, the empty net, and putting on some pressure. Here's Mike Craig. Winds up with a shot. Rudy stopped it. Rebound in front. Tapped ahead. Tocchet moves it up to Gretzky. Empty net to shoot at. He finds it.
He didn't even look. Just instinct. It tells Wayne Gretzky where that net is, and he knew that Felix Potvin wasn't there.
And that breaks a 6-game goalless slump for Wayne Gretzky. An empty net goal with an assist, 2-point night for Gretzky, and a 2-point night for the Kings.
And a smile to his face because he knows that his hockey club has got another win. Watch Gretzky. He hasn't even looked at that net. He just knew where it was and shoveled that puck right in the middle. If he had taken a look, he would have picked the top corner.
Tocchet picks up an assist as well as Granato. A 3-point night for Rick Tocchet. McSorley moves it up. Crowder going after it. Mironov pirouettes away from him, and he'll start back. Has Wood up to his left. Wood breaking in. So the LA Kings pick up their third win in a row, on the road. And the Leafs, meanwhile, will turn around and depart on a 4-game road trip on this losing note. 4-1 the final. The LA Kings with the win. Gretzky with a couple of points. Tocchet also with a big night with a goal and 2 assists.
Well, when the Kings eventually do go home, Barry Melrose may just put that team right into a hotel and keep them on the road. At least that's what Rick Tocchet said they might do today. Meanwhile, Pat Burns' team worked hard tonight. They ended up with 41 shots on net, but didn't end up having their goal scorers being able to finish off. A few posts got in the way, but posts can be an excuse.
Final shots on goal, 41-20 in favor of Toronto. But the Kings pick up the win. 4-1 the final against the Leafs. More still to come on Molson NHL Tonight on TSN.
From Toronto, tonight's third star, Leaf center Mike Ridley. Solid game and a losing cause. The second star, LA right winger Rick Tocchet, 1 goal and 2 assists, a 3-point night. And the game's first star, Kings goaltender Kelly Hrudey. A 40-save performance as the Kings make it 3 straight wins on the road. Here's a quick goal to show you. Dale Hunter